Um, so for you, you feel like, it's interesting. So I think like it's been a while that you've seen the results of the work that you put in. So you've been putting in a lot of work, and obviously you might have further gains that you're trying to obtain. So you're saying that even while you was doing that, and somebody look at you from the outside and go, man, that guy's in shape. For you, you had to work on internal stuff and how you eat and just go to another level.
Listen, I'll tell you how serious it is. Imagine people seeing you from the outside. They're like, oh man, I would love to freaking have it like that. Shit.
Yeah,
Even if the abs ain't fully there, shit, you got a 4-pack, man.
yeah.
Listen, hey,
I'll take that. I was one of the person
but
that was saying that shit. Take that. I'll take a 4-pack any day. I got my little one keg right here. I'll take a 4-pack any day.
but but I kid you not though. But between that 2018 to 2022 period, that 4-year gap, right after I did a show, and within that 4-year gap, I went on a tangent of just eating whatever, partying, drinking, and the seizure transpired. So
Mm.
ultimately, I was like, hold on. You can't outwork a bad diet. You can't. Like, the shit that I
Wow.
used to think was like, oh yeah, nah, people tell me I'm good. I'm still hitting the gym. But internally, man, it was a ruckus. Because had it not been, that wouldn't have never transpired. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
I'm gonna
And
tell
it's
you
not
what,
like I'm
man.
not to me.
Go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry. That was me. Finish your thought.
no, no, I just gotta say, and I don't even consume anything else other than that. Like I'm a natural person. It's not like I'm taking no enhancements. No, I don't do no extra curricular with drugs. So it's like the only thing could have been just bad eating and alcohol consumption. Because ultimately, all chronic illnesses are transpired from the gut with parasites in the gut. So your body just like it gets to a point where it shuts down. It's been helping you so long, fighting off all the bullshit, and it's like, yo, bro, I'm weak, man. What's up, man? You gonna help me? Your body
I
is
gotta
literally
tell you.
like,
So
yo,
you're
are you
feeling
gonna support? Hmm?
you're feeling better now?
100%, 100%. For sure, and it's all predicated off of just switching the consumption, like cooking my meals, being mindful of what I eat, and saying no to the bullshit. To be honest with you. Like you would see all the good shit, sweet things. Cause I used to be a sweet person. Like I used to have a sweet tooth, man. Heavy. So
Thought he was about to say
it's
he
like,
used to be a
On
sweet
that
person.
note, on that note, I don't want to stop you. I don't want to stop you, but on that note, I'm gonna tell you where our rift happened in our relationship. Right there. Stick with that sweet tooth. Because I remember one day we were training together, right? And you went and got some fucking jelly donuts. And then you were like, hey man, this is how I do it, Kish. You know what I mean? And I was like, I didn't say anything to you out loud, but I was thinking this motherfucker right here, he's gonna go eat some jelly donuts and go work out. I'm done. And I think that was the day I
Mm-mm.
stopped working out. I think that was the
Mm-mm.
day I literally stopped working out, man. So just
Oh
just so you
no.
know, like you're the reason why I'm not in the shape that you guys are in right now because
Mm.
when I saw you eat that jelly donut, and I'm like, I eat jelly donuts with this motherfucker. It ain't working for me. You know what I'm saying? But he gets to eat jelly
listen,
donuts, and they still look like that. Nah, man, I'm done. I'm done. It's like
Listen.
when you catch a smoker. It's like when you catch a smoker. He smokes his whole fucking life, no cancer. You never smoke, and then you get cancer. You're like, what? And shit, I might as well start smoking. You know what I mean?
Facts.
listen,
Facts.
listen. I kid you not. Like you know what it is though, Kish. We were brought up in this world, right, where we were taught certain things. Like, and I feel like there's a big issue in how we were brought up, obviously, but it's just like the things we were taught. You know what I'm saying? To kind of keep
Mm-hmm.
us in the system and mitigated with the information. Like everything out here is meant to be utilized as a tool. To some degree or some
Okay.
facet. So it's like if we never really took ourselves out of our own took ourselves out of our own comfort zone to kind of go embark on that, we're gonna be sitting on the
Mm-hmm.
sidelines like, damn, what's going on over there? Damn, why they look so happy? Man, why it seem like they have such meaningful lives, from the outside looking,
Mm.
and that's because those people took the risk or they took the chance on, whatever it is, on whatever endeavors. And
So
I
bring
think
it
that
home.
right
Tie this
there,
back
man.
in with the donuts. Tie this back in with the donuts. So to get me there, bring it back home.
So so to tie it in now is just to say, like, even when it came down to consumptions, we were
Mhm.
eating and consuming, like, the shit was just ridiculous because I saw other folks to some degree do it, and I'm thinking like, oh
Mm.
yeah, shit, if they do it, then why not? But not understanding that these folks been in it for some time, not only been in it for some
Oh,
time, but they are on, probably some of them are on gear, So you
okay.
can't put yourself in those other individuals' shoes to kind of be able to propel. You got to be able to kind of assess things and then, pull from other individuals that's in a expertise area or field, so.
Okay. So
Mhm.
then Dre, you bring it home because you went on a donut bender the other day too. So bring it home and tell me how the expertise from your standpoint where the donut fell into place with the work that you do. Bring that home for us, Dre.
No,
Go
because
ahead.
I can't agree to what he's saying.
Crickets.
But
Crickets. What happened? Is there something wrong with this microphone? What's going on?
I can't even agree because
So,
because
Bro, like, I
because
don't speak that lingo.
because because everybody deserves a donut. If you never had a
everybody deserves a
donut,
donut.
you need to try a
Ah,
donut.
you need to try a
And
donut.
you're gonna have a mixed feels about them. But
Hmm.
just the other day, I did a show, and my client was like, "You gotta try, what it's called again, Voodoo Donuts."
That's
And I
what it
said,
was. It was a client. Okay.
okay, it's at the show, it's post show, so it's like your body wants to refeed, so you got to be able to give it some good carbohydrates and some good fats and sugars and stuff like that and protein. But
Okay.
I honestly and truly didn't really enjoy the donuts because it was just like a little bit too greasy for me. You know,
Mm.
Mm.
the
But you
grease
see,
is. Mhm.
no, go ahead, as you were.
Yeah, so like the grease, anytime you come off prep, like heavy grease, heavy saturated food, heavy trans fat, it's just not gonna sit well with your stomach. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna go through this process of like you're gonna feel extra bloated, you're gonna be pooping like crazy. Um,
Got
and
you.
some people could tolerate it a little bit better than some. But with my experience and what I've been through is like I gotta be careful with all the trans fat, right? Especially right after a show. My body would absorb it, but I have to like incrementally go out throughout the week. I can't just shock it, But that's my experience
Got
with
you.
donuts, man. Donuts is not, like it's not a hate or love relationship, but I love the fact that you could go crazy after a post show. You know what I'm saying? And damn near eat anything. Kish, like
Got you.
that's something that you should do, man. Why you never like embark upon the world of bodybuilding and get.
Well, I told you what
That boy
happened. I told you
Kisher.
about I was working on it, and then Mario was eating donuts and still looking better than I was, and it just kind of you never know what's going to turn you off
Nah,
to a sport.
and
You
nah,
see
listen,
me
you
working,
was
man. He's eating donuts. Like I mean, I couldn't like that. That's just bullshit to
nah,
me. Sorry, Mario, I ain't
the, the,
trying to put you out there
the
like that, but
wildest,
it was upsetting to me. It really
nah,
grieves my
the,
spirit. You know. So
that shit
I
rubbed
I,
him the
I
wrong way, boy.
I haven't lived weight since then. It's been a while, and so it's like to see how much effort work I was putting in. I'm not trying to take anything away from Mario. Like he put in the work. He put in the work. But man, like eating donuts, man, right before the workout, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't eat donuts before a workout and be all right, you know? And
You get
I've
you
never
get
looked
the, you
back
get the
since. But
greatest pump. You get the greatest pump. Like right now, let's talk about the one meal a day that you're on now.
yeah,
How's that
yeah.
going? And tell us a little bit about that and why you
Okay,
started.
so I won't say like for me, you know, the people that I look up to in in the weightlifting industry, which is you and Mario. Like, you guys don't. What are you laughing, man? You guys don't ever fast that I know of, right? It is all about
Oh,
consumption. I said that I know of, so I want to clarify that it's all about consumption and what you consume and how much you consume, right? And so it's not necessarily a fasting and you know trying to keep like fasting and resisting, like, say, food. You guys make sure you have several meals a day, right? For me, I work out, like, I realize that, like, I try to do that, but then I definitely put on more mass when I do that, right? And it might not be a bad thing, and maybe over time I would make that curve where it's more muscle than just raw mass, right? And maybe I haven't given it the time for that. And I could, I'm not blaming anybody for my situation because it's me. A lot of times I let work get into the way more than my workout, you know. Um, so, but for me, I just feel better on a regular day, when I eat a meal a day, one meal a day. I feel lighter. I don't always feel full. You know what I mean? And that's a problem for me, where I go through feeling through the day trying to eat so much meals and feel full, and then gaining mass. Um,
Mhm.
the one meal a day for me, like I said, like some other people, they do more like fasting and trying to do the one meal and make sure that the meal that they're putting in their body is like nourishing and filled with the things that their body needs. And I
Mhm.
don't know, for some reason, like that. And I'm not even so much trying to be a bodybuilder. I would rather would rather gain the body that I'm proud of, not so much to build a mass, you know what I mean? Size.
Mhm.
So
right. So
did that answer your question?
Well, it answered
Go
my
ahead.
question. It answered my question, but how is it going now? How many days have you
How
been
is it
on it?
going? What I would say is like some days are better than others, because like I travel for work a lot. Right now I'm out of town. And so, you know, these days when I'm out of town, I don't have like a set meal, you know. I work with a contractor, and when we do like shutdown jobs right now, he buys us lunch, right? So he buys us lunch. A lot of times it's pizzas and sandwiches, you know. So then that, in my mind, I'm like, you know, I'm already out of town, so it's not like I'm packing lunch, you know. So it just puts me in a predicament. And I'm not saying that
Sounds like
ideally,
you're
if we
making.
talk about it and have
Mhm.
no,
Go ahead.
ideally, if we talk about it, it sounds great. We could come up with plans and it sounds really good. But then when
Mhm.
you're here, it's a different story,
So how many
you
meals
know.
are you eating a day now that you're on the road?
That I'm on the road. Sometimes, sometimes I find myself with two. When I'm
Mm.
at home, it's usually one.
So would you contribute that to
also,
like your calories expending? Like how much calorie you're able to expenditure throughout your workout, or I mean throughout your work?
I think what it is, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you.
Mhm.
It really falls into comfort. You know what I mean? Like, I'm away from my family, and and then, like, sometimes the work that I do can be stressful. We have projects that we're trying to make happen. We're putting it back. We're taking out equipments and putting them back in. And I'll be honest with you, man. I've all my life I've struggled with anxiety. You know what I mean? So despite the fact that I will go out and do the things that I need to do, I get anxious about doing them. And food has always been a comfort thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm able to find comfort in food. So when everything else is going crazy in my life, one place that I could guarantee that I'm going to find some comfort is in some Jamaican food, or something that, I'm saying, that is familiar to me. And
Mm.
so that's where I find a lot of struggles, and I've often tried to like stop the traveling for work. You know, I've tried to put myself in situations where I don't have to travel for work. And then when I find myself out of that situation, something keeps on they keep on pulling me back in, Dre. They keep on pulling me back in. I try not to, but they keep on pulling me back
Hold
in, and
that
I
pen.
allow
Hold
them
that
to.
pen. Hold that pen. Hold that pen.
Ugh.
All right, guys. So welcome to the tables of the nights. We're here. The gentlemen are here. We're locked in. Welcome to the podcast, guys. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, just assortment of things. We've been talking, but now I just want to give you a proper introduction of who these gentlemen are on right now and what they do. And let's go. Start with you, Mario.
All right, chat family, all my beautiful folks out there. It is Brotastic. I am actually a transformation specialist over here in Florida. So, I take care of influencers and things like that. And I also do massages on the side as well. I'm a masseur. So that's pretty much me. Hopefully, what I'm looking to bring to the whole function here and to the whole podcast is just better understanding, just a different viewpoint on things. Hopefully, I could be able to bring light to your day through certain conversation and certain ideologies and concepts. So, looking to have a good time, chop it up with the fellas, my cousin and my brother up top. So go ahead and make this thing happen, baby.
Awesome. I'm Mr. Impact, and I'm the owner of Impact Welding, and that's what I do: welding and fabrications. And I love that we have this outlet to be able to come here and talk about different topics and talk about the things that's on our mind. And so I'm happy to be here.
Hey,
So what
listen.
are we gonna talk about today?
So you were just I want to continue talking about that a little bit about stress eating and about like you being away from your family and how that caused you to stress eat and why you're not sticking to your regimen of eating one meal a day because I find it significantly important to understand how fasting works because I do believe in fasting. But now do I believe it as far as bodybuilding go? No, two different things. If you're a man like yourself that's traveling for work and you're constantly on the go, and you don't have set a gym per se, then you technically want to lower your calorie intake and try to eat one meal a day to allow the body to work efficiently. Now, just explain a little bit more, to the viewers and let them understand like what you do again, and just let them understand what you have been doing in the last how long you been doing the fasted fasted what 3 weeks, a month?
Yeah, so I've been fasting probably for like about a month or so,
And you're seeing
and
results.
I try. Well, I think what happens sometimes I like a more fluid type of I'll call it diet. I like a more fluid diet where it's not something that I have to count numbers, count calories, things like that. Because if I
I see
do,
diet.
I just listen. I am not as regimented as you are, and so like I want to set it and forget it
Mm.
sometimes. And I understand that that mentality sometimes is what gets me in trouble because you know, I want to be able to focus on work. I want to be able to focus on family. I want to be able to focus on everything else except for my diet. And I'm
Mm.
just being honest, you know? And
What you got to
so
say about that,
if
Mario?
I
What you got about to say about
can,
I mean,
that?
bro,
Chime in real
like
fast, and then Kish, go ahead
I,
and finish.
it's at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to balance. It's all balance. So that's really what I would have to even say about that because I could definitely understand having
You think he shouldn't
to
care
like
about what he's eating?
no like just to kind of like chime in. Like I think I've even gotten to a place where I'm even okay with having like two meals for self. Like, but it'll be two big meals. One early in the day and one at night because I find myself that it allows me to be in a
So you're
hungry
not paying
state to
attention
go
to
out and
what's in the
hunt.
plate.
No, 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 no. I know exactly what's in my plate. You did you misheard me. I said I have a surplus within those two meals, so I know exactly how much my consumptions are. but it allows me to not have to necessarily be full all day, but it allows me to kind of hunt, be able to go outside and be able to go ahead and do the necessary things without feeling too relaxed. Because I find myself when I overly consume, sometimes I'll find myself a bit relaxed and stay. So, I mean, so when it comes down to it, as far as what he's saying, like being able to be like I could understand that aspect to some capacity, but I know exactly what I'm consuming. If I gotta consume 1,000 grams of carbs, or if I gotta consume, 20
No, no.
20 ounces of oh.
The part I'm saying is that he's saying that he has the one meal, but he goes with not a strict regimen towards it. He just I see and I'm gonna have that.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you
Okay,
agree or
no, no, yeah,
disagree
you
with
don't have
that?
to.
Especially if you're fasting,
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, no. If you ain't tracking, you lacking for sure. Especially when you're only
All
consuming that
right.
one thing. If you ain't,
Back to you, Kish. Back to you.
Okay, so I can appreciate that. That if I ain't tracking, I'm lacking. Okay, I could do that. And so, like for me, I completely agree with what you're saying, Mario. Like about having a balance, right? Um, um, I just lost my train of thought. It just like disappeared. If you ain't tracking, you're lacking.
Did you
I
eat?
think that like,
Did you
huh?
eat yet?
I actually just had a meal. I actually just had a meal. I just had a meal. So,
what did you have?
um, I had. We gonna go here for real, fellas?
Hey, I just want to know
I
if it's
had.
helping with the cognitive functions or not, man. We know
I had some.
superfoods
I
or
had some. I had some curry goat. Um,
woo.
with like a cup of rice and peas and a cup of white rice
Oh, that's what he
and
was. He was like,
some
bro,
veggies
you
some
know,
veggies on the
I'm gonna try
side.
to, I'm trying to make it down. I'm trying to make it down to my hotel on time, but I'm here.
God damn.
441.
Mm, mm.
441 in
Goddamn chicken,
Oakland.
boy.
But
Mm.
I'm gonna
I
try to make my way
actually
down there. You know.
I
Got my
actually you
fingers
make it
all
sound
in
like
it.
I'm sucking on the bone while I'm talking to you.
Oh my God, bro.
I
Oh,
actually
where
was
you
on a
was at? Blue
business
Mountain.
call.
Blue
I was
Mountain.
on a blue business call before I called you. And then I realized that the way that time was set up, that I was like, man, I don't know what traffic is going to look like, so I might not get, to this space to have this phone call on the time that we set up. And that
He's
I'm a
down there.
stickler for time. I want to be on time.
He's
You know
down
what
there
I
knocking the
mean?
goat down, bro. Just knocking it
I could be
down.
not. Hey, listen, it was good too, man. It was some good. It was some good food. It was some good
Oh
food.
man.
But like, no, man.
Oh.
I am not one. I like to be free. I don't know if you guys don't seem like you guys know this concept about being free. Seems like you guys are very regimented people. You know what I mean? And hey, flex for the people. Flex for the people out there in podcast land. Show them. Hey, you just have to show them one arm apiece. Go ahead. Go ahead. Dre is showing his arm actually without even me asking. Like he's doing it on purpose. Right? So you guys can see that these guys have great
I'm
He got
physique.
his
seeing you.
hands in the front, right?
You guys can see that these guys have great physique. The only thing that you've seen is
Hey,
my
that
face
boy.
and my
Hey,
fingers
that boy in
in
the camera like this.
the that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It
God,
looks
look at
like
this
some
guy.
ad for
This guy's
something.
veins
Look like an
popping out.
ad. Oh, it's crazy.
That's a
It is
two
it
meals a
is
day.
absolute madness.
That's a 2 meals a day. Get y'all. Mm.
But I'm gonna tell you what though. I'm gonna tell you what. I was shocked to hear him say that 2 meals a day because I'm kind of like, how you see the different body types and they do different things and maybe get similar results. And so, with your body type, Dre, your body type is different, where you can eat. It's almost like you have to be it's almost like you have to like be attached to some kind of food source where the food is constantly coming in for you to maintain your built. You know what I'm saying? And from Mario perspective, it's like it was never like that for him. You know what I'm saying? He's able to have, a couple meals a day, and as long as they contain the nutrients that his body needs, that he's able
Mm-hmm.
to do well, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And
Yeah,
like I said,
because
I'm
I
not
think
trying to go
no, it
ahead.
comes down to it because there's three body types. They
Yes.
got like endomorph, metamorph, and I forgot the other one. So when you look at those body
Okay.
types, you would
It's
see one that
ectomorph,
is really slender,
endomorph, mesomorph.
mesom perfect. So
You
you
guys can
would
see my
see the
screen?
visuals where um no, I think we only see you.
Alright.
Yeah, but so with those body types, if it does come up, we'll let you know. With those body types, it'll show you like a really slender person and give you some details under it. And you see the one in the middle got a little stomach in there, and you know how it's just like how our women would say, "Oh, I'm big bone, or I'm this, or I'm that." Like there's just is body types, and just predicated off of what you've been consuming over the years, your body's been molded to have a certain level of mass to it, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so I think that right there, being aware, so therefore we could know how to kind of maneuver through with the consumption. But I just tell people and that's why I try not to make it seem like it's so special as far as telling people about the three body types, because I don't want to. People are already far fetched. I don't want them even more far fetched. You know what I'm saying? Trying to have a handle
Hmm.
on this shit. So I don't even bring it up because I just want them to understand. Listen, once you just have a balanced consumption, you know what you're consuming. You put your stuff on the scale, you'll be okay. Anywhere between 2 to 3 would be ideal if you got to adjust the milk consumption. But once you have your protein, your vegetables, and a small portion of your carbs, and eliminating just bread in itself, because we can't account for it. The starch and shit, like we can't account for all that. So once you have it in that system, you should be fine. You know what I'm saying? You work on that for some time. Before you know it, your numbers are going to start to get regulated properly. And then just don't go back to the bullshit like as consistently, because a lot of times
Gotcha.
people eliminate the parasites, but then before you know it, lo and behold, they rewarding themselves with 2,000 calories of bullshit,
Yeah.
putting all that parasite back in the gut. They're like, oh yeah, you back? Woo, we having a party. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to tell folks like, hey, just simplify for you. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to worry about in life. We just want to make this part simple as possible.
You
You
guys
know.
still can't see my screen?
Mm,
No. No, it's just all three of us on the screen from this perspective.
I gotta figure it out because what I did, I pulled up the three different body types and I was showing you guys that, but the video is probably gonna show that. So
Gotcha.
so Kish, have like you find yourself like eating 2 meals a day now because you're away from your family, or you just kind of like say, man, I'm more hungry. Like what is that like? Like is that a real thing,
Y-
or you just
You know what's crazy is that like it's a it's a combination of your personality, right? So like for me, I'm very big on respect, respect received and respect given. But it's interesting that like on a respect received, I give people more. I'm more tolerant of people, and I understand that people are different. So I would give them more leeway. But then like, the person or the company that I'm working for, when that person goes out and he's like, all right, well, we're doing a shutdown and I'm gonna buy lunch for the crew, right? In my mind, like I said, in my mind, it's like, man, he's gonna buy lunch for me for the crew, and I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like in some ways from my personality and how I was raised, it's almost like it's not a full sign of disrespect, but it's kind of like to just remove yourself, I guess, unless you explain that like, yo, I'm on a diet and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, right?
Mhm.
Unless you explain those
mhm.
things, it's kind of so you just go along with the flow, and then um by the time you have that meal at noon, right? Then it's too early to do the one a day thing because by the time you finish working, and then get home, you're exhausted from the day, so now you want, you want another meal. You feel me? So if I find when I'm doing one meal a day, man, I usually, especially when I'm at home, I'm doing one meal a day. It's usually like 2, 3 o'clock. I have that meal, my first meal of the day, and then by the time I
Basic
have that meal, I'm good for the
good for the
day.
day. Cause you're probably not doing
But if
nothing
I
at the
have,
house, right?
I mean,
After
regular
that
stuff, I'm
time,
not
like after that
after that
time,
time. Yeah,
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 yeah.
you know.
Because I can see how that
Um,
could plays off into the whole you eating one meal a day at home, and when you're on the road you eat 2 meals a day.
yeah,
Yeah, I can see how that could roll out because you're probably waking up a little bit, tad bit earlier, right? You're probably and then.
yeah. I'm definitely waking up. I'm definitely waking up earlier, and then
Mhm,
I'm waking up earlier
mhm,
when I'm away, and like I said, by noon, the way that my system worked by noon. I mean, you're working, so then you feel something there. Normally I
mhm,
could just drink like a bottle of water, and it removes the hunger.
mhm.
Um, but
Like how
then
much? Mhm,
when
mhm.
we're legitimately stopping, the crew is stopping. It kind of just,
You're like,
like I
whoa.
said,
You're like, let's keep moving, guys. Let's keep moving.
no, but that's what I'm saying. The crew's stopping, and that we're you've done construction and building, in
Mhm,
your life as well. So like, that when like the crew typically sticks together. So if we're gonna go out, if we're gonna break off and we're gonna go have our individual lunch,
mhm,
then you kind of have more of a choice, right? But then if the supervision, brings the lunch on the job, it's gonna be something cheap and it's gonna be something fast, right?
mhm.
And so, um, and then the crew kind of just eats together. You don't go off,
Right.
for half an hour, an hour. You
Mhm.
just eat together, and then you get back to work because it's more of a shutdown type atmosphere, you
Right.
know. And so, um, then you kind of just work out as a crew,
Right.
you
So are
know.
you
I do
working
I
out?
do recall.
Are you like lifting weights now and stuff like that? Now that you're on the road, are
I
you?
told you I stopped lifting weights. I told you I stopped lifting weights ever since I saw Mario eating jelly
No, no, I'm
donuts and
for
then
real.
working
Like,
out.
I mean, are you doing something like within inside the hotels? Like, are you doing, say, let me do 100 push-ups, 100 squats? Are you doing
I
anything like
need to
that?
do that.
Uh,
I need to do that. I am not doing that, but I
okay.
need to do that.
Yeah, because how
I
much you
need to
weigh?
do that.
How much
That's
you
where
weigh?
my excuse. That's where I would say that my excuses really
Hmm.
start. Is in the hotels. I'm like, man, I ain't put my body on that floor. You know,
Hmm. So
you
how
know what I'm
much
saying?
how much weight did you lose since you started though?
How much weight have I lost since I started within a month?
Yeah, because you say you started the fasting, the 1 meal a day. You started that what, a month ago?
Yeah, about a month ago.
And where did you start it and where you at now?
I haven't recorded that. I need
Oh.
to go look at that. But I started like at 260.
Hmm. So you
Two
probably feeling
sixty.
way better, lighter, and faster and stuff like that.
I feel lighter during the course of the day, and I do feel lighter like even after I've eaten. It feels like my body wanted or needed the calories that I've given it,
Hmm.
and I don't feel overwhelmed by my
Digestive
by
system.
being full.
Hmm.
Yeah, my digestive system.
Hmm.
Before it was like, man, sometimes I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but before it was like there was times I was hungry,
Hmm.
but my body felt bloated, like heavy, but then I'm feeling hunger. That's crazy to me because you're not supposed to feel bloated and hunger at the same time,
Hmm.
you know.
What were you eating?
And I
Like,
think,
do you remember some of the things you was eating or what?
well, it was mainly, like I said, it was mainly the multiple meals a day. Like
Mm.
when you're eating breakfast, so then trying to
But I
work
saw
out,
your
so you'd eat
breakfast
like
though. I saw your breakfast. I remember you
eating
was
like four
here.
eggs.
I remember when you was here and you showed me the oatmeal that you usually eat.
Uh-huh.
The amount of sugar is those packet Mario. You know what I'm talking about? Is those packets from Walmart?
I know.
The oatmeal
Mhm.
packets that comes in a
Mhm.
variety box, and it says like maple brown
Mhm.
sugar. It's a little packets
100%.
that you could put.
Mhm.
I know.
The caveat to that is that people don't understand what the food industry have done to change that. Instead of buying a canister that said old fashioned and this is bland, this is the real oats. They bought some little packets and said, "Oh, you're still oatmeal, so it's healthy." So in your head, you're thinking, "Oh, it's quick, it's fast, it's relatively the
Mhm.
same thing." But in this packet, they add the amount of sugar they add in one packet y- you automatically gets like
It'll
a
blow your mind.
dopamine rush and an insulin rush that you're just like, oh, this is better, this is quicker. So you automatically start thinking this is convenient because of what they have in the little packet. And you got to remember, they adding sugar to that already, right? And so if you're a person that says, oh man, I got to add like some peanut butter to it or something like that, right? Or maple butter, whatever the case is, you're adding more calories and more sugar. So your body is
You know what I
building
was
up this
shocked about?
tolerance level to make your ghrelin become more and more. So you're not satiated, you're more craving, you're more hungry. 'Cause remember what sugar does, it picks you up and drops you. So it creates that nasty, like, oh man, like I feel bloated right now, I feel good, but then I died down and now I need to eat something more. So it's a good thing to keep in
It's
mind.
the
And I saw
dopamine.
you eat that, Kish, and I was just like, if you don't know better, you wouldn't know not to even touch that packet because it's already loaded.
Go ahead, Mario, and then I'll respond.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, you can respond. I recall what I was saying.
Okay, so like what I would do is in my mind, I would take one of those packets, right? And then I would add more oatmeal to it. So I wouldn't use like, so for example, if my consumption was probably 2 packs of those packets, I would take that one of those packets and then I would add oatmeal to it. So then I would have an idea of what my intake was, because the packet will tell you your calories that you're intaking. Instead of taking the raw oats and then let's say we add some sugar into that or add something into the raw oats, where then we'd have to calculate that out. I would have one packet of
Why
that,
add
which is
sugar when you okay, so I get it. The oatmeal is bland, right? But
Mhm.
absolutely is bland.
but wouldn't you
Absolutely is
be
bland.
more but wouldn't you be more happy to know how much grams of sugar you're putting in that oats? Instead of remember now, you don't know how much sugar, no matter how they break it down to you. When they say on the packet on the back, right? If they have sucrose, dextrose, they have all these names of different kind of sugar. You know they all do different things.
Okay.
So you have to
So you
understand like so you have to understand that like a gram of sugar, just when they say a gram of sugar, that's like a teaspoon of sugar. So if the packet say
okay.
it has 15 grams of sugar, now I
Hmm.
want you to think about teaspoon and how many scoops is that going into that. Is a lot. It's equivalent to a lot. So some of these sugars are they're way more what should I say bad for you than the ones that's like the one that you could grainly count, like the one that you could put take your spoon out and shake it over your
So
oats.
you're saying it's more. So you're saying that if I consume one of those little packets, it'd be a lot more than if I take a teaspoon of sugar and add it to my oats.
I'm saying that the equivalent to one table to 1 gram of sugar is a teaspoon of sugar.
Really?
Yeah. So so when you look at sugar, you got to look at it in that way, in that form, and then you can make some
Hmm.
adjustments as you go along. So that's just
Okay. So that
old.
was my thought process. That was my thought process, was that like, okay, so for you, you're looking at grams of sugar, you're looking at how much of the additives that they're adding into that
Right,
packet of
right,
oatmeal,
right.
different from like not calorie in, calorie out.
Hmm. So exactly. Yeah, because I understand calories, but what people gotta understand is that if you hold up an apple, right? If you hold an apple
Hmm.
and you hold like a sneaker bar, and say relatively they have the same amount of calories, now you gotta ask yourself this
Hmm.
question: what's the difference then? If this one
Which one's
has the
better
same,
for you?
and which one? Because this one over here, the apple has way more fiber, right?
Hmm.
Right, and this one over here has way more sugar.
Yeah.
So you got to understand the difference. You know what I'm saying? This one is more
Okay.
filling because of the fiber. This one is gonna spike your insulin levels. Then you're gonna make you more hungry. You get what I'm saying? And
Okay.
then what does the sugar does? The sugar sits, right?
Okay.
Especially
So
if you're not
if
a
you're
person that's
intaking
moving
a
like
lot
that
of
and using it
sugar,
up. Hmm.
so if you're intaking a lot of sugar, that's potentially you could be feeling full. You could be like bloated and hungry at the same time if you're intaking a lot of sugar. Feel like your body is
It's gonna pick
stuffed.
you up and crash you. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
just like diabetics, like when you see a diabetic run for food when they feel like their blood pressure is dropping. They're running for food, but what they're running for is for their sugar levels to go back up.
Hmm.
If you're a high sugar intake person, your sugar tolerance is high. So it takes you
Hmm.
more sugar than the normal average person intake of sugar to get you to that satiate, not even to the satiated point, but to the point of like, okay, I'm good. Instead of someone that's like average, they'll be like, "Oh, I just that little bit of sugar. I'm good on it." So it's just like
Hmm.
caffeine. People caffeine tolerance will go up. Some people caffeine tolerance is low. So the more sugar you keep on eating, is the more your tolerance go up for it. So it requires more
Got you.
sugar.
Got you.
And I think it
So
all
you would say,
boils down to, man. Mm-hmm.
I'm
No,
listening.
you
Go
go,
ahead.
Chris.
Um.
No, no, no. Yeah, as you
y- Okay. So that's interesting. That's interesting that that's how you. That's interesting that that's your view of. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that's interesting. It's an interesting concept of like, your sugar intake and how to like, you know,
And I could do a whole
try to
video
bring it
about it,
down.
and I could talk about it in a
No, but the
different
thing about
video.
it is
But this
this.
ain't this
The
ain't
thing
that
about it is
video.
this, right? Yeah, like even if you want to just sum it up, man, like I like to sum shit up because it's cool. It's like when you're asking the person, like, damn man, show me the way. And it's like, man, you just gotta have faith and just figure out your way, man. But it's like, yo, I actually like step by step. So my thing is, so let me tie it in with what I'm about to say. Why is it that we could be able to get up to about 600 pounds, 800 pounds in weight, but yet when we get too skinny, we got to be on dilators. We need fluids pumped into our bodies and things of that nature, or else you're gonna be deceased. So our body is just predicated on trying to survive. So my thing is that we're able to go up so much in weight, but yet there's a lot of chronic illnesses that does transpire because you're just trying to stay alive. Because the more, like your body don't need muscle to survive, you know. So it's one of those things where it's like if we ourselves don't take it upon ourselves to take the initiative to consume the necessary things like how we once used to back in the days, where we're like on like a pescatarian, um, uh, no, is it a pescatarian diet or is pescatarian only meat and vegetables?
You talking about a Mediterranean diet?
No, not the Mediterranean. Where you only have
Pescatarian is
your
fish.
meat.
Or you
What's
can
the other
break
one?
it down.
Harbor four diet. Harbor four. Um,
Carnivore?
where you're only carnivore.
Herbivore.
I said herbivore.
Herbivore, carnivore. Yeah.
Carnivore.
Carnivore then. So if we go back to those type of days where we had less complications and less health issues and actually consume that and have like that form of diet, then we wouldn't have all the health issues that we have, but because of the simple fact that we do have the carbs, which carbs does transfer over to sugar and predicated off of if it's bread that you're consuming and things of that nature. Um, the starch aspect of things. So if we just kind of just mitigated, certain things, we'll be in a better place health wise, ultimately.
This
It's
ain't the diet
just
video though. This ain't the diet video. I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but this is not the talk about the diet video. You know, we got to keep this short because we are tipping over an hour now. So listen, you had a topic for us, Mario. So let's hear it and let's go from there. So, cause we don't try to hold everybody too long than we're supposed to. What's your topic
no,
there?
100%. Well, it was just more so about like your central nervous system, just
I'll
ultimately
tell
like
you
going
what.
into.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Can we wrap this one up and then do another one for his question? Because I think we were talking about diet, and let's just wrap that topic up, and then like, because you're going into another question, right?
Yeah.
That's
Okay. I
off
see.
this topic. Let's just
Well,
stop this
no,
one, and if that next video
It's
takes
probably
like
gonna be like
15
10,
minutes,
15
it's a
minutes.
15-minute video. Yeah, and that's okay. So like, we've already done an hour and talking about diet, and
we
and
ain't
you
hit
know
an
what
hour yet.
what my struggles are, and then we can wrap it up. Like these are my struggles, and I'm working on it. You guys have obviously um mastered this part of a life, and I'm just striving to be where you guys are. And I like the differences of views on diet. Like I think that Mario and I have similar body types, and I think that Dre's body